Okay, hands up if you're scared to enter a gym. Work out in a gym, be seen in a gym, be seen in gym clothes. That's me. Is that you too? I had the biggest realisation that I am terrified of entering a gym when I actually was confronted with one. Did I do it? Welcome back. My name is Ginger and this is my channel Ginger Goes GLP-1, where we discuss all things GLP-1, and in my specific case that's Mounjaro. I'm currently on a 10 milligram Mounjaro pen and I have been now for many weeks. I can't remember how many weeks. I'm just back from a road trip to see my sister, so I'm a little bit disorganised. I was supposed to vlog while I was there. It didn't happen. I did take a little bit of footage while I was there, not much, but yeah, it was a much needed break, and I have come back a better, happier, more balanced person. This weekly weigh-in is going to be a bit of a quick one, I hope, just to bring you up to speed on where I am, what kind of week I've had. Like I said, I've been away, so I've had a good week. And yeah, weigh-in. I don't know how accurate my weigh-in is. I think it is accurate because I weighed on a tile floor. But yeah, obviously it's different when you're away. I did bring my own scale. I didn't bring my Renfo. I just brought my regular scale with me. So yeah, I'll update you in a little bit about that. As you know, I tend to go through things like mood, hunger, cravings, sleep, calories, exercise, non-scale victories, future goals, and just anything that's new, strange, exciting that's been happening in my week. So mood this week, well, it's been a really good week. Obviously, I was away. It gave me a little bit of a pause from, life at home and the mundane kind of, ins and outs. My sister is retired, but she was quite successful in her career. She was in a senior position and sort of got HR experience as well as management experience, and was just able to give me some much needed advice around work. So that was nice. I did actually reach out and say, can I just come up and see you? I just want to clear my head. So that was a really good week. Hunger. So yeah, my hunger is present every day. As you know, I've been splitting the 10 milligram dose for the last couple of weeks now. I think this is the third week that I've been doing it. So I've been taking the 10 milligram pen and splitting it into two doses. The first week I did 5 milligrams and then 3.75. And then the second week I kind of forgot the 3.75 and I did 2 times 5 milligrams. And to be honest, I've done the same this week. So I've been injecting on a Thursday and a Sunday. That's been going really well. But like I said, my hunger, what I have noticed is I'm hungrier every day doing it this way. But the hunger isn't out of control. It's quite manageable. But I'm just aware that I'm more hungry. I'm ready for my meals. Whereas when I'm taking the 8.75 or, a full dose, I have 4 days of extreme suppression and then 3 days where I can kind of eat semi-normal. But yeah, doing it this way, I'm hungrier every day. So I think I'm happier doing it this way just because it is teaching me about my hunger. Like I said in the beginning, and maybe some of you are still like this, I was kind of scared of hunger because I thought that the hunger was uncontrollable and it's going to get out of hand and, I'm going to eat everything in sight. I haven't done that pretty much the whole way through. But that is always the fear that that I'm going to lose control. I'm going to go into a binge. I'm going to overeat. And as you know, eating on Mounjaro can be a very painful experience. If anyone who has overeaten knows that Christmas Day feeling or Thanksgiving feeling of just being stuffed to the gills and walking around, pacing it out, trying to get rid of that horrible feeling. But yeah, I'm not having that. I am still having quite strong suppression, sort of the day of the shot and the following day. but I'm still hungry by dinner time, if that makes sense. Cravings, not really. If my cravings haven't really been overwhelming the whole time that I've been on Mounjaro. They've, I've had the odd sort of like desire for something where I'm like, oh, that would taste nice. And certainly my sister had lots of food in. She's it's a long story, but she's an Irish feeder, so she likes to show her love by food. So it's very upsetting for her that she can't feed me day and night. But yeah, she had some nice foods in, and I indulged a little bit, but not to the same extent that I would normally do. Which was nice, actually, just to be able to have the choice, the variety there, but feel in control enough that, I'm not just eating everything out of the cupboards all day long, although that would have suited her. Sleep. Sleep's been pretty good, even sleeping in a strange bed. So I am aware of that. I do suffer from strange bed syndrome, where you don't get comfortable unless you're in your own bed. Some people it doesn't bother me, it does, but yeah, no, it was still good. I'm sleeping the majority of the way through the night, so that's definitely changed, and I do wonder if that is down to the split dosing. I do still wake to go to the loo, but again, I think that's more to do with the amount of fluids I'm drinking rather than the actual medication itself. Exercise. So this is the big one. Gym fear. So my sister's a member of a gym, and she just said, did I want to go to the gym with her? And I said, yes. And I brought my stuff with me. So I brought like a top, pants, leggings, some like workout shoes, and forgot my sports bra, which was not great. But anyway, so she said, do you want to come? So she phoned up, and the girl that answered the phone gave her a very confusing description about what would be needed to do to get me as a guest pass. And anyway, so she went off without me, which was a little bit annoyed about. But the next day she said, oh, I spoke to the trainers in there, and they said it's not a big deal. You can come. I was like, okay. But she was running off to do errands, so I was going to be doing this by myself. And my goodness me, all of the excuses that went through my head. Oh, I don't need to work out. I'm having a bit of a break. I don't want to go. It's only one day. I'm not a member of a gym at home. What's the point? And everything. There's all of these thoughts going through my mind. I'd probably be busy, Saturday, that kind of thing. They were all excuses. And the actual fact of the matter is, I was terrified to go into a gym by myself in workout gear with all my lumpy bumpy bits and my saggy baggy skin, for fear of judgment, for fear of all of those things that they would be thinking in their head, the gym bros, and just making up stories about what people would be thinking. And I talked myself out of it, and then I was just going to stay. I was going to stay at her house while she went off and did her errands, because I'm very, very, very behind on comments. I'm so sorry. I really am behind on comments. So yeah, I started doing the comments and everything, and then she said, oh, I'm getting ready to go. And I said, oh, okay. And something possessed me, and I thought, you know what, I need to get over this hurdle. I must get over this hurdle, because I don't know whether it was true or not. If I don't do it today, I'm just recreating this fear, making it bigger, making it disproportionate to what it actually is. I've got the opportunity of going into a gym and having access to a trainer. Just do it. And I got up and I put on my gym clothes and I went. And so anyway, she dropped me off, and I stood outside for a minute, and then I was like, I've really got to go in. And to help me, it started raining, so I did go in. Newton Lewillows. You'll know, the person who I'm directing that at will know who it was. Newton Lewillows is where I was for the gym. Anyway, so I went in and I got the guest pass, and they showed me around and they showed me the equipment. I got on the weights and I did quite as well. Karen, if you're watching, I have every admiration for you, because I know that you're trying to achieve your body weight deadlift. Yeah, so I'm really impressed that you're trying to do that. Anyway, I worked out with the trainer. He showed me the equipment, and I only kind of did like 5 reps on or five maneuvers just to get the hang of what each machine did. And then he left me, and I was left to my own devices. I did some cardio, so I did a 20-minute workout on the treadmill, and then they had a rowing machine. I'm going to insert some footage. It'll be little tiny snippets of what I did, and I know I did the rowing machine wrong. I couldn't get the coordination right, and my feet kept lifting up. So if anyone uses a rowing machine, please put down in the comments what I was doing wrong. The trainer had gone by that stage. He was on a half day. Anyway, so I did the rowing machine, and then he'd show me how to do some kettlebell swings and some squats and different things, because I work out at home alone. So I wasn't sure if I was actually doing it right the whole time I've been working out. A couple of things I have been doing wrong. Anyway, he showed me the right way of doing it. So I did 20 minutes on the treadmill. I did 15 minutes on the rowing machine. And then I went upstairs back to the gym. By this stage, it was literally full of gym bros. Only gym bros. There was one female. She was like buff, really worked out. And so there's little old me trying to remember how to use all of the equipment, finding the right weights and things like that. Anyway, I did it. I went on all of the machines that I wanted to go on. I don't know how much I can deadlift, because I deadlift 100 pounds with the trainer. But then when I went up there on my own, there were too many gym bros around the sort of, whatever you call them. I don't even know what you call them, but like the weights bars and things like that. And I didn't want to go over and start messing around, putting plates on and taking plates off and things like that. So I only know I can lift 100 pounds. So I don't know if that's good as a starting point or not. I've got no idea. Anyway, I stayed up there for about another 45 minutes to an hour, just working out. A lot of it was trying to work out and remember what he said about the machines and that I was doing it. So some of the footage will be cringeworthy to anyone who works out regularly. But it was to overcome the fear of going into the gym, the fear of being seen, the fear of being judged by these people who are so much further along in my fitness journey, their fitness journey, than I am in mine. And in the footage, you can see my bingo wings. You can see my tummy. You can see I've got thick thighs. So there was lots that anyone who wanted to judge me could have judged me for. And do you know what? I don't think anyone paid any attention to me. And I'm saying that genuinely. There was one guy in there who was just like, he was built like, a haystack. I mean, and he kind of looked over at my way, and I thought, oh, he's looking at me, he's judging me. He was probably looking at me and thinking, she's not really using that machine properly. So not judging, but just kind of like maybe considering, should he show me how to use it? But so if you haven't gone into a gym for fear of going into a gym, I would recommend you do it, because I got over it. I went in and I did it. In the words of Susan Jeffers, I felt the fear and I did it anyway, and I feel so much better for it. I am aching like crazy today. I'm back in Cornwall, so I left Warrington, Winwick, this morning, and I'm back in Cornwall now. And I had to get out of the car in Exeter because I was seizing up. and have a bit of a walk around. So I am stiff today. Oh, and I also did an hour in the swimming pool. So I did 40 lengths of the pool as well. So my sister was just about to phone the gym and see where I was, because my niece and nephew had turned up at her house. I was supposed to be back there at like 2:30 and it was like nearly 4 o'clock. She was like, I don't know where she is. Anyway, but yeah, so I had an incredible afternoon in the gym. I enjoyed it so much. And I feel that I really got over that hurdle, that initial fear. And now I feel more confident about going to the gym here and joining up and getting ready. So like I said, if you have had any hesitations about this up until now, just do it. Just do it, because why are we holding ourselves back? Everyone's just focused on their own life, their own business and things like that. And even if they do think, oh, look at that saggy, baggy, flabby lady over there, they're probably not going to say it. More people are not going to say it than are going to say it. That's what I would guess. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to draw a line under that now. But yeah, so I went to the gym, I got over my fear, and yay me. So get out there and do it. Calories, I've not really tracked. Again, I've started sort of tracking a little bit. But also I know in my head roughly nowadays what I'm eating. It's only if I'm eating something unusual or not part of my normal weekly set meals type thing that I put it in. But yeah, I'm still on track. I would say I'm still on the 12 to 1400 calories a day that I've been doing since the get-go. So goals for September. I've got quite a lot of goals for September. The first one is the big one, which is to exercise 3 times a week for the whole of September. If anybody wants to join me in a bit of a September challenge, please leave a comment down below. I don't know, like the muscle, there's a muscle emoji. If you want to do like September and commit to 3 times exercise per week, then leave a muscle emoji down in the comments. You don't have to tell me what you're doing. I just want to set that challenge for myself. October 1st is my 1-year Mounjaro versary. So I wanted to reach the goal weight of 147.8 pounds, which would have been 100 pounds weight loss. But I knew I was going to miss that like a month ago. I knew I wasn't on track to get that. So I've reset it to 150 pounds as my interim goal. But by October 1st, I've set it to 160 pounds, which is still a little bit to go. But anyway, 160 pounds by the 1st of October will be 90 pounds weight loss. So that's my goal. That's where I want to get to. Hence the mini September challenge of 3 times a week exercising. I'm not going to be changing my calories. I'm not going to be increasing my deficit to try and hit that goal. I'm just going to try and get there slow and steady as I have done the rest of this journey. So yeah, but in interim goals for September is to hit 165 pounds by the 15th of September, so midway through, and then the 160 by the 30th of September or the 1st of October, and that's the 90 pounds weight loss. Ultimately, the goal is either 150 pounds or 140 pounds. I'm flip-flopping on how far I should go. So my sister is 147 pounds. So she's 10 stone 7. I hope she doesn't mind me saying that. Anyway, she is. And so that's about the right weight for me. So that's why I'm aiming for sort of like the 140-ish pounds. I am an inch shorter than her, which she reminds me of all the time. But I remind her she's older than me. So that's the goal. So somewhere in between maybe 140 and 150 is the ultimate goal, but 160 by October 1st. So on to the weight. Right. Last week I weighed in at 169.8 If you remember, I was really excited. I'd made it into the 160s. That was 12 stone 1.8 or 77 kilos. This week I weighed in at 168.6 or 12 stone 0.6 or 76.5 kilos. So I lost a total of 1.2 pounds or half a kilo. So yeah, I'm delighted with that, especially because I was away for the week or some of the week. And I think my scale is pretty accurate. Like I said, I did do it on a tile floor and made sure it was like balanced and at 0 and everything like that. So I think it's pretty accurate. I will double check tomorrow morning just to see where I am, but I'm going to take that as my weight loss. So 1.2 pounds this week. So total from the 1st of October 2024, to today, I have lost a total of 79.2 pounds or 36 kilos. So I am 0.8 pounds away from 80 pound weight loss. So yeah, I think that the 160 pounds by the 1st of October is doable. That's my guess at the moment. It is doable. So I'm going to aim for that. Yeah. Exciting times. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to beat myself up if I haven't made it by the 1st of October. But yeah, we'll see if I can get there. So I am going to, today, a little bit later on tonight, I am going to be speaking to Laurie from GLP-1 Journey in Review. We're going to have a discussion, don't know whether it's an interview, she calls it an interview. But yeah, we're going to have a chat. So I will let you know when that is going to air, once Laurie lets me know when it's going to air. So that will be the first time I've done one of these, and I'm kind of excited. I don't know what she's going to ask me. She hasn't given me any questions, and I've been watching her other ones, so I've got an idea of what it is. So yeah, head over there if you haven't already and watch some of her videos. And then in the next couple of weeks, I guess, there'll be one of me. Oh dear, a little bit nervous, but it'll be okay. I'm sure she'll be very gentle with me. So yeah. So that's my week in review. That's my week 48. I forgot to say that. It's week 48. So that's my update for week 48. And I think it's been a good one. So I'm going into week 49, feeling good, feeling strong, and ready to take on whatever is coming up my way. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, week 48, 49, 50, 51. Yeah, no, I was just checking that correlated with taking me to the end of September. I was a little bit worried there, but yeah, so we'll get there. But yeah, like I said, if you do want to join me in the September mini challenge, and the only thing on the mini challenge is to work out 3 times a week, like I said, leave me the muscle emoji down below in the comments, and we'll see how we all do by the end of September. So I hope you're all having a good week. I hope your weight loss is going well and you're getting okay with side effects, not bothered by them too much. That tomorrow, the September 1st, will offer clarity to everybody going forward about the prices. I think the prices are pretty much out, but it's always good to know that they're out completely and we have a full picture. So yeah, but thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you all again on Wednesday for my midweek musing. Take care. Bye-bye now.